Do you really think you can survive nursing school without changing a thing about your life? Full-time work, social nights, Netflix binges, everything the same? Spoiler alert, it usually doesn't work. And if you try, you might crash harder than you expect. But stick with me, because by the end of this episode, you'll know the lifestyle shifts that can save your sanity and your grades. Hi, I'm Dr. Godfrey, a registered nurse and nurse educator with over 20 years of experience teaching future nurses just like you. Welcome to OB Clarity, where we break down complex nursing concepts so they finally make sense. So why nursing school demands a lifestyle restructuring? Why? Nursing school isn't just academically tough, it's full on. It's a life challenge. I remember during my first semester, I tried to keep my weekend brunches, and we had a lot of them. And I tried to keep my Friday night outings, but by midterms, I was running on 4 hours of sleep, skipping meals, and making mistakes in clinical prep. That's when I realized I couldn't live the same life and survive nursing school. I couldn't do both. But here are some key points. Consistent study and review. I did my clinical prep, mental and physical energy for those long shifts. I needed them. It was actually critical thinking under pressure. But the goal isn't perfection. It's intentional prioritization. You can't do everything, but you can do the things in the right order. So the question, can you work full-time and succeed, OB Clarity? Some students juggle full-time work and school, but it's not about luck. It's about their strategy. So here are some factors that matter as you contemplate this. How is your energy level? What's your employer flexibility? How is your study time, your strategies? How are you managing it? How is your support system at home? One student I knew cut back to 3 shifts a week for about a semester. She used that extra time for clinical prep and studying. So by the end of the semester, she was back to full hours and thriving. So even when it's possible, sacrifices are inevitable. But think of them as temporary investments in your future success. That's what you're looking forward to. So we can look at things that are temporary and things that are necessary, right? Temporary things. You have to have short-term cutbacks on some of those social outings. Adjust your sleep schedule during exams. It's necessary to have consistent study routines, prepare for your clinicals in advance. There's that health that's important in your nutrition for stamina. I personally gave up my Saturday night study groups for a month. I just needed to focus on lab prep, right? It was tough at first, but when I nailed that clinical exam, it felt worth every sacrifice. So you have to do what's best for you. Sometimes the study groups work, sometimes you need to work alone. But the key is knowing which sacrifices are short-term and which will be essential to your success. Only you can figure that out. Discipline and time management, and that affects attrition. But attrition isn't about intelligence. It's about habits and structure. So plan your day in advance to reduce overwhelm. Block your times for study, for sleep, for meals, and for self-care. Please avoid procrastination because that will help you with stress. I started scheduling my week in 30-minute blocks. I would study, I did my prep, I even did self-care. At first it felt rigid, but it kept me accountable. And guess what? My grades reflected it. So when you control your time, you control your results, you control your destiny. What does buy-in actually mean? Buy-in isn't just motivation, it's a commitment to your future self. And guess who else? To your patients. It means accepting that your lifestyle might need some adjustment. Prioritize your study, get your clinical prep done, take care of yourself. Let go of habits that no longer serve your goals. Just step back. Because when I truly bought in, I stopped feeling like I was missing out. Instead, I felt empowered, like I was on this clear path toward my success. And I was. So you don't have to give up your life entirely, but one intentional shift this week could completely change your energy, your focus, and your success. I want you to audit your schedule now. What's the one lifestyle change you need to make? Only you know that. Implement that and notice the difference by next week. Okay? So subscribe to OB Clarity and share this episode with a classmate who's also juggling too much. Next week, we'll continue building your clinical confidence with strategies to study smarter and not harder. So as I always say, always assess. Don't guess.